It is an America First model because we live in the United States of America. And if you are here illegally, you will not be here any longer. And if you are going to continue to commit acts of violent crime, you will meet the same fate that this individual did this morning. But if you're here for a minute, a day, a month, or a year, you've been here far too long. And General Bondi has made it a priority at this FBI that we manhunt every single person committing an act of violent crime. This task force was stood up 1 month ago. In 1 month, the brave men and women on this task force from state, local, and federal authorities have arrested 342 criminals in the state of Virginia alone. This is what happens when you let good cops be cops. And we're going to continue to let good cops be cops across this country. This is what happens when you let good cops be cops. And we're going to continue to let good cops be cops across this country. President Trump gave us the executive decision to go after and safeguard our communities. General Bondi is our warrior of justice leading that charge. Governor Youngkin, it's an honor to be a partner in this operation with you and U.S. Attorney Siebert. This is the mandate we have. Right now we have an American dying every 7 minutes from a drug overdose. That is a national security crisis we have not seen ever before. We have a woman or child being raped every 6.5 minutes in this country. We have a homicide twice an hour. No part of that metric is a safe and secure America. But thanks to the brave leadership of this administration and the folks that you see here, we are returning our communities to safety. As you heard, we took down this morning a top leader of MS-13. That is not done easily. That is done with brilliant law enforcement. And right here, I'm proud, and I think the governor knows I'm biased, having graduated from the University of Richmond, to have this here in the state of Virginia, here in our Northern Virginia resident agency, with our partnership with our Washington field office and our special agents, our SOS folks, our intel analysts, and our support staff. My priority has been law enforcement across the country, and that will not change. But law enforcement across the country cannot be done just by Washington, D.C. and the federal government alone. This task force was stood up 1 month ago. In 1 month, the brave men and women on this task force from state, local, and federal authorities have arrested 342 criminals in the state of Virginia alone. We wanted this to be a successful model. It is a successful model because of you, because of your men and women on the streets. We have the easy job in Washington, D.C. You take it to the max every single day. You put your safety on the line. You put your selfless desires ahead of going home and seeing your families at night because you care more about safeguarding our schools and our community than you do your own safety. So we will always have the backs of good cops because you have the backs of the American people. And this task force is going to go everywhere it is needed across the United States to bring the form of justice and measured security and safety that our American citizens deserve. It is an America First model because we live in the United States of America. And if you are here illegally, you will not be here any longer. And if you are going to continue to commit acts of violent crime, you will meet the same fate that this individual did this morning. And I just want to reiterate what our partners said behind us. This is not possible without the folks that do the job every single day. And as director of the FBI, it is a privilege to lead some of these brave men and women. And the only ask that I have of you in the community is the next time you see a cop, thank them. The next time you see someone safeguarding our schools, shake their hand. The next time you see our brave men and women of the FBI and the local and federal state police take down a violent terrorist, maybe give them a hug. Because those guys, those gals are the ones that are going to continue to keep our city safe. And we will not stop until this national security crisis is recognized, brought into check, and eliminated. Thank you.
Questions?
Amber from Daily Caller.
Thanks.
Hey, Amber.
First question is, how long was this individual living in the United States illegally and operating as a leader of MS-13? And then two, MS-13 has been a huge problem in Virginia for several years now. How many members of that gang do you believe are currently operating in the state?
The bottom line is, for far too long. And because of operational security, we won't get into too many of the details about this individual. But if you're here for a minute, a day, a month, or a year, you've been here far too long. And General Bondi has made it a priority at this FBI that we manhunt every single person committing an act of violent crime.
And it should speak volumes that the leader for the entire East Coast was living right here in Virginia, right among us.
Hi. I had been, there's hundreds of these arrests happening so quickly. Had these individuals been identified under the Biden administration? I mean, was there a paper trail of these people? Were they all identified and targeted with the Trump administration in place? And then I also wanted to hear from the governor, too, on Fairfax County. We had heard in recent years issues about the sanctuary policies there, people who are dangerous, illegal aliens, suspected, being set free into the communities and then committing other crimes. So I'm curious what we do from there.
So first, many had been identified. They have been living here. Many had been identified. Living here, they were let freely into our country. All of these illegal aliens. I had gone to that border in September. Nothing humane was happening at that border. Passports stacked everywhere, everywhere, from every country you can imagine. People freely walking across our borders, fighting age men, coming into our country. And this is the result of Joe Biden's open border policy. What our country has been plagued with. But from the second Donald Trump took office, he said he is going to make America safe. He shut down our borders, and now it's our job to get these people out of our country as fast as we can. And this coordinated group effort, this task force that has been put together, is making a difference here, and it will make a difference around the country. That's why you're seeing so many arrests so fast, because we will not have another Lake and Riley. We are going to catch them, we are going to apprehend them, and they are not going to like where they are going.
Can someone describe what this suspect's role was in MS-13 in terms of what kind of activity was he overseeing?
All we're saying now, for certain reasons, we're not identifying him by name. He was one of the top members, top 3 in the entire country, head of the East Coast, one of the 3 leaders, and I will say very violent crimes. Anything you can associate with MS-13, he was the leader over it. All of the violent crimes. So he's very dangerous. He should not have been in this country. He's from El Salvador, and he was recruited at a very early age. Very early age, and it rose to the leadership, and you have to be bad, you have to be tough to get there. But he is no longer tough because he is behind bars.
The off-topic question, in terms of the signals chat controversy that's going on, is DOJ involved at this point? If so, why? If not, why not?
Well, first, it was sensitive information, not classified, and inadvertently released. And what we should be talking about is it was a very successful mission. Our world is now safer because of that mission. We're not going to comment any further on that. If you want to talk about classified information, talk about what was at Hillary Clinton's home that she was trying to bleach bit, talk about the classified documents in Joe Biden's garage that Hunter Biden had access to. This was not classified information. And we are very pleased with the results of that operation and that the entire world is safer because of it. Thank you all very much. Thank you for coming here.